Hello, my name is Hellín and this is my final exam for the course Resources and ICT 2324. Students will be 8-9 years old, so they will be in 4th grade in primary school. Students will achieve these goals with the different activities proposed, like understanding the concept of fractions by identifying them and their application in real-life situations. They will also learn about equivalent fractions and the management of technological resources for creating the last activity. The students are very creative and hardworking. They are used to work in groups and collaborate in group activities. They have some difficulties regarding mathematics and paying attention to their teachers' lessons. So I took advantage of their ability to work in groups and some interactive games to help them understand their math lessons. I took the last activity as a warm-up for children after the lesson. The only change that I made is that the images are created by the teacher and they have to identify if there are fractions or not and give a reason for it. I also took the second main activity and I transformed the flip card game into an interactive game where they have to compete against the other team. Activity 1. Fraction Gallery Walk. There will be a lesson about fractions explaining what fractions are, where we can find them, and what equivalent fractions are. There will be some pictures and students in groups of 5 people will have to identify if there are fractions present in the pictures that the teachers provide them or not, and they will have to give a reason for it. The reflection they make will be written in the answer sheet. These are the answer sheets where students will write their reflections. Activity 2. Flip and match. They will play an interactive game in Wordwall where they will have to flip the cards, remember where each fraction is, and match them. The teacher will divide the class into 2 teams and they will play an interactive game on the whiteboard. They will take turns to match the equivalent fractions represented in flip cards. The team with most points will win and will have some extra time for the last activity. This is the result of the flip card game that the students will play during the class session. Activity 3. Fractions in motion. Stop, reflect, create. They will create a stop motion where they need to reflect on what they have learned about fractions and how the content worked. They will be divided into 5 groups as in Activity 1. They must include in the stop motion video a character for presenting their ideas, 3 examples of equivalent fractions, a set of 3, 1 example of a non-circular representation and another example of a circular representation of fractions in real-life situations, and finally, 1 problem solved with fractions. This is the result of what the stop motion should look like. In Activity 1, the teacher used AI and other technological resources to create the striking images to call students' attention and make them aware of the presence of fractions in real-life situations. In Activity 2, the use of an interactive game facilitates learning acquisition because, as its name suggests, it is an interactive way of engaging the kids into the learning process. It also fosters competition among both teams and makes the students interested in the topic, although it is a bit confusing at first. In Activity 3, the stop motion that the students have to create enhances their creativity, their capacity to work in groups, and the collaboration with each other. These are the rubrics for evaluating the students individually in the different activities. 3 points will be given to the students who perform as expected and achieve all the goals of the activity. 2 points will be given to those students who performed generally well but with some aspects to improve. And 1 point will be given to those who don't perform as expected and consequently don't achieve the goals. Only teachers have to log in, and data is totally private and not shared by the app. It makes your data public, but teachers can be the only ones to log in. All users need to log in to use the app. It shares your personal data from your account as you need to log in to use it. For the knowledge task design area, students will work with the games, image-based media, and a worksheet distribution. For the social interaction design, there will be a teacher, the person who facilitates, and students will work in teams. For the spaces and resources area, students will use the collaborative study, the classroom, and some tablets, pencil, and paper. For theoretical content knowledge, we have 2 terms, data literacy and TPAC. Data literacy is the ability to explore, understand, and communicate with data in a meaningful way. Nowadays, technology is part of our lives, and that includes education in all stages, so being aware of the importance or the possible dangers of not being competent in data literacy could be a significant step for future teachers. TPAC is the acronym that corresponds to the concept of Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge, which studies the integration of technology in education. Being a successful teacher shortly means being able to connect the content that we have to teach, the way we teach it, and the technological tools that we use to implement that teaching. For the technological instrumental knowledge, we also have 2 terms, robot and augmented reality. A robot is a kind of automated machine that can execute specific tasks with little or no human intervention and with speed and precision. Robotics has advanced a lot in the last few years, so implementing it in education would be a good way to make more interactive classes, but also to teach children the advantages and drawbacks this has. Augmented reality is an interactive experience in which a real-world environment is enhanced with computer-generated. As well as robotics, augmented reality would be a good option to implement in lessons as an alternative tool for some activities and to make children competent in this type of technology. These are the tools of this course that I will include in my personal learning environment from now on. First of all, DeepEye and Object Viewer. I included these 2 apps in the part of doing because in both of them you are creating images or representing a drawing in augmented reality format. DeepEye helps you create AI images for free, and Object Viewer is an augmented reality app where you print the drawings from their web, and when you scan them with the app they become 3D figures. This app makes some activities more dynamic and it catches people's attention as it is a different way of representing reality. Next, Schemely. This app is part of both sections, doing and reading, as you can create activities with it and use them or just read to get inspired and modify them. This AI tool was compulsory to use during this course tasks, but it is very helpful, especially for future teachers like us, to create activities that really have a meaningful impact on our students, but without eliminating the human interaction in the class development. Next is Miro. This app is included in the sections Doing and Sharing, as it is for creating structures such as schemes or diagrams, and you can share them with your working team. From now on, doing schemes and other structures won't be a problem thanks to the discovery of this app. This was also compulsory for the course, but it would definitely be part of my work in my professional future. Finally, Instagram. This social media app would be included in the share part of my PLE, as I used to share videos and news with my friends, but from now on, I would include it also in the reading part, as I've noticed I can learn a lot by the influence of other people. Although I already used Instagram before to contact my friends, by using it to publish our group tasks, I realized that it has other functions than just seeing other people's publications, but analyzing and trying to learn new things more actively. As a final mark, I think I will get an 8, as I noticed my progress from when I started this course until now, and I really feel that it has impacted me in a very positive way, not only because I learned about the applications of technology and its different features, but also because I think that if I take more courses on this topic in the future, it will be beneficial for my professional career and personal development. The most challenging role that I performed during this course was the journalist role, as I needed to recap all the things that my group members did and reflect on them, not to mention the work that I had to do on the presentation day, collecting ideas from other groups' work, and mentioning other blogs related to the theme of the week's activity. This required a lot of active listening, getting information from different groups about the same topic, and reflecting on how they, or even we, could improve the work we did for that week. I think the proportion of the work in this project is 70% humanity and 30% artificial intelligence, as I used AI for getting some ideas from there and get inspired, but overall I needed to modify nearly everything to make those activities more realistic for students and for the kind of activity I wanted to create. AI is a great tool that facilitates certain activities, especially at work or at school, and that is changing a lot of things nowadays, including education. Apart from all the advantages it has and that we are experiencing every day, I think it shouldn't be everything in a person's life, and that we need to value more our own intelligence, because, as I said before, it is a tool to help, not to substitute humans' natural abilities.